Kia ora, I'm Diamond. I'm here with Hubba, the Marbarian, and this is our episode.
Si whakanau, Marbarian, toku ingoa, Mongol mob.
Kia ora, I'm Diamond. I'm in the hood with Hubba, aka Mabarian. What I really want to ask you first off is, how did you get this name Marbarian?
Oh, I just made it up.
You did?
Because husband, I just made us a hat each. I put on his head Marbarian and on my head Marbarian.
That's kind of cool.
What I want to say is, I just want to have a karakia first.
Me?
Yeah. He honori he kuroria he maunga rongo ki te whenua he whakaaro pai ki ngā tāngata katoa hanga i te atua he nākau hau ki roto ki tēnā o mātou whakatongi a tō wairua tapu hei awhina hei toitoi ia mātou i roto i tēnei ao kuroria ki tū ingoa tapu. Āmeni.
Āmeni.
Just my thing.
Oh, I love it. So I'm here, I basically come across your story in the media.
Yeah.
And my first, the first thing that I saw was that the Portaki school had been shut down because of the mob.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that it looked in the paper was that the mob was, distracting the town in some way. There was a lot of unsafety, so the school was shut down. And then obviously I met you after that and realised it was you. And then we talked about that. Can you tell me more about that situation?
Yes, so at the time, there was lots of things on the media in regards to everything in regards to my husband's death. I couldn't even deal with all of that, so luckily I had a good friend who dealt with the likes of media, all of that type of stuff, the hapu, which is whakatoia. So she dealt with all of that, but then as well as that, me and my husband, prior to his death, we were working with the gang harm reduction team with the police. And so from the moment that we found out that he had passed, we stayed in touch with them. Okay, so this is what we're doing from Rotorua, from when we got my husband from Rotorua, took him to Palmerston North. So they were in the loop throughout the whole thing. So in regards to the schools, because the police knew, then the schools are going to know. So it had nothing to do with that there was the amount of Mongol mob here. That was just inevitable. Especially because of the way he died. He was murdered. So the schools, a lot of the schools they did shut. So of course across the road from here is the college. A few of the teachers from the school, they attended my husband's tangi. You had a couple of the other schools, the daycare just down the road, they attended with their children. Kohangas come to my husband's tangi. And then the primary school in town, the principal from that school, he attended my husband's tangi. But the media, they painted the picture like it was all because of the presence of the Mongol mob. When actually, did they actually go and talk to the principals? Did they go and talk to the teachers that attended my husband's tangi? Did they come and be scared? Or why would they come if they were scared? If they just made out that, and of course, because that's what social media do. They paint a picture for people, Karens, if you must, to say, oh, yep, these the gangs again, there they go again. Hey, so then the Karens that don't know are just gonna be like, oh, they're on the news again. There they are. There's that Mongol mob. Or they just try and paint the picture that, and that's not even the picture. People don't even know. Come and ask the family. Hey, go and ask the principals. Go and talk to them and say, were you scared out of your wits? Oh no, we weren't scared. We actually attended the funeral. Hey, they only see what's been said. They only hear and see what the media is saying. But if you've got balls, come and ask. And you don't even need balls. Fucking have a mick if you want. Fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? It frustrates me. And even today, they still use my husband's funeral in the media, anything to do with gangs, they use my husband's Tangi for it. Despite, they didn't put in there that the gang harm reduction team, the police, stay connected with us. Right from bringing my husband home. They followed us, said to us, go this way. We had an understanding. But did they say that? Did they talk about, we actually had an understanding with them?
Yeah.
No, they don't. They just want to paint the dirtiest picture. Hey.
I'm with you, sis. I'm with you. And hence my podcast. I hate mainstream media because of these reasons.
Yeah.
I hate the way they paint us from the hood. I hate the way that, they project us out to be sheep. So there's one thing that I've, gotten to know you over time, and I've heard about your husband. What was portrayed, what I saw in the media was, here are these scary mobsters, and I'm not saying they're not, they can't be. I'm not trying to paint them as a bunch of priests at all, but what I'm trying to say is, I've seen some video footage of him that he's a loving dad, a loving husband. Can you tell me about that?
That he was, and of course the media is only going to paint what they hear and what they see from people who work for idiot Luxton anyway shit. But what they don't know is he was a loving dad. He was a loving husband. And yeah, okay, he had a past, just as we all do. But he come through that past. He come through the fire and he became the light for myself. He was I'm his legacy. I'm my husband's legacy. And, my mokos would tell anyone, he was quite dopey, my husband, but when he's not been a Mongol. But his kaupapa was family first, Mongol more forever, and there was, and yeah, okay, it took him a little bit of time to get to that notion, but he did it as a captain. He did that. He was cool, mum, because he was just so cool, and because in our past we weren't present as he wasn't a prison papa. He wasn't a prison. I wasn't a prison mum, but he accepted that. We can't change that. That's what we were, but we can change what we do going forward. And he made that change. He was the man. Like, I never ever thought I'd get married. I never, especially not to him, because for 8 years we were apart, and I was okay with that. I got to deal with that and accept it. But when we got back together, man, he was just, it was like, this is the fellow I first met when there was no meth, he was so cool, and he would try and, because he was so humble, my husband, he was so humble, and the police, the media, everyone, they only see a mobster with a patch on his back, but they don't know him deep down. He was learning his whakapapa. He knows his pepeha now, and he's probably using his pepeha up there now to try and get in the next thing. But, and I have him here because he's vain. He'll be loving this, sitting in the middle of two beautiful ladies, especially one with skirt on him. Yeah, get her over here.
Well, tell us about this. So this is, now that we're on this, tell us about your husband being here and that there's more than two of us sitting on this couch.
He was shy, but, he liked that. He liked this. Even if knowing that there's cameras, he'd be vain as. And that's why I was like, anytime I'm doing stuff, it's like, he wants to get in. It's like, yeah, get over here, babe. But yeah, he was vain as, my husband. And even once he passed, because all his stuff would come to my Gmail, every time he'd go to the gym, he's just recording himself. Every time. I'm like, holy shit. But he was so vain, my husband.
Tell us 5 things about him that nobody would know, or that you can share.
Yeah.
Or a couple.
he was vain. Well, people would already know that because he was already, he was vain as he was dopey with his family, with his kids. So when we're all together in his mokos, you know, like he made up his own songs for his kids, like for his mokos. One of them was Haria to put in pie, kissed the boys and made them cry. And then and he'd do that to each of my mokos, and so then they'd say koro poro, putting in pie, kiss Nanny and made her cry. But that was their thing. So every time they'd get together, they go, here's koro poro, like, you know. But just he'd do those things, but you wouldn't even expect that from a gangster, you know what I mean? Like, people only seen that. Or well, not like lots of like his family, like us and his kids, they all know that. Oh, he's dopey dead, like, you know. But they also know that he was so vain. Like when he found out about I think it was TikTok or something in his game, record me doing my clothes. So he's making, because he'll go to the gym, he'll come home and he'd have rice and chicken, you know, because he's like, this is protein. And he'd want the kids to record him doing that, because that's how vain he was. He had his birthmark was on his butt.
Had a birthmark on his butt.
Yes.
Well, there's something you wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't have known that. Man. It got me bloody hard out thinking here.
Well, I reckon that's heaps.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, you mentioned earlier, when we first started talking about your husband got murdered. What can you share with us about this journey? Because a lot of people watching this won't know about it. They wouldn't have seen it.
I think at this stage, because I'm not sure what I can say and what I can't, but that whole thing, from when I was beside him, that all was just a mess. Like, I wasn't even allowed in the ambulance. Like, there was a chopper there was an ambulance there, and he was on the ground, and I said to them, cover my husband up, it's freezing. And they said, he can't feel it. And I said, I don't give a fuck if he can't feel it. I can feel it. Hey, it's cold. And I said, can you put him in that chopper, at least in the chopper they can get him to where he needs to go sooner, faster? Or put him in the ambulance, but just get him off this ground. Yeah, it was
Was he shot at this point or stabbed? I don't know. Before the helicopter had been, I don't know what had happened to him.
Well, so I've just shown up, and then I could see the outfit that he left, he left me in bed, and I knew the outfit that he was wearing, and I seen it on the ground, and I just, they wouldn't let me in the ambulance with my husband, so I had one of the officers' numbers. She gave me her number and said, ring me, we'll see you in Whakatane. See, but even then, for them to send me into enemy lines, knowing that my husband's just been murdered, of course, from the enemy. You know what I mean? Just negligence, really. Like, they sent me to Whakatane. I of course, I'm going to shoot there, okay? I want to be by my husband. And nothing. My husband didn't show.
Do you think if they had to put him in a chopper, if they had taken better care of him, that he might still be here?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
But I think that because my husband died alone. At least if I was near him, he would have held my hand before he died.
Why weren't you by him?
Because I wasn't allowed. I wasn't allowed in the ambulance. I sat at the hospital for hours. 6 hours before someone showed up to say, your husband's passed. I said, where is he then? He died alone.
So you asked to get in with him.
Yeah. They kicked me out.
Why?
I don't know. They said I can't go. The lady officer said, here's my number, we'll see you at Whakatane Hospital. That's where we're taking him. So I've driven straight over there.
Was he alive when you last seen him in there?
I don't know if he was alive, but he had a breathing machine on and it was just going like that. So I'm thinking that that's him breathing. Yeah. I didn't get to even see that it was my... So yes, they told me 6 hours later, but I didn't even actually get to see him dead until 9 hours later.
How is this possible? Because they said they're taking him to Whakatane, you leave here. Whakatane's not that far away. So
he didn't even show up there. I was right outside with in the ambulance bay. They didn't even bring him there.
So you went straight to Whakatane and he
Went
wasn't
straight
even
there. No.
So where was he?
Where was he? I don't know.
So when is the next time that you get to see your husband?
9 hours later.
In Whakatane?
No, Rotorua.
So 9 hours later, after seeing your husband on a breathing machine,
on the ground. We just lifted him into the ambulance. Yeah.
On a breathing machine, the next time you see him, you were told he was going to be in Whakatane. So you're his wife, you're obviously his voice, you're obviously the one that can speak for him. Why aren't they listening to you? Why can't you get in, and why are they telling you, a grieving wife, to drive to Whakatane?
I don't know.
What's in your heart about it?
Of everything, you know, yes, my husband died, but my thing today, what I play over my head is he died alone. I don't know where he died. I don't know what. I just know that he was alone.
If you were Marbarian, do you think that circumstances would have been the same?
No.
If he wasn't the cat, do you think that would have been
No.
the same? Why do you get treated different?
Why? But even now, like even after his death, you know, the police come in here, they raided our house. Like one day they come, they raided my whole house, my uncles had to get up. And then 2 days later they did it again. And that's the trauma they put in our mind, because we were just going through trauma. We just lost my husband and then they do that.
How does that impact you? You know, because you already lost your husband, you're fully grieving, no energy. What does that kind of do to a family, as a nan, as a mum, as a wife?
Well, luckily for me, I've learned all these tools of recovery, so I'm able to use those tools. Because now, as the part of my family, I have to do better by my family. And it's not easy, but it's doable. It's doable. I can't, like, yes, they're just doing their job, but fuck, we just lost my husband.
How could they do better though? Because really, you're from the hood, you're a loving mum. Do you know what I mean? You're a loving grandma, you're a loving wife, you know, and they treat, sometimes I see it like they treat, you know, the treatment isn't good enough. What could they do better?
Oh, there's heaps of fucking things they could do better. Like, you know, I've said to them, I've said to the, because we have that relationship with the gang of harm reduction, I said to them, if ever you want to come here, they don't need to come with guns, they come here with guns. They stand out there, my grandchildren, that wake me, my whole family up with guns. It's like, bro, you don't need guns.
I know what that feels like to have guns at your head. It's not.
Yeah, but twice in a week.
Yeah, with more calls around.
And I had to still continue, to say to my family, and it's still happening even now, today.
What?
But for me, it's, my husband guides me all the time. Hey, awarua. And I think, this is my thoughts, is that with everything that's going on for me and my family, is the system are just trying to weaken us, break us down from our knees, just trying to chop our legs and break us down. But nah, I refuse. Yeah, okay, I might get locked up, but jail ain't a thing. I'll fucking do it on all four paws. The thing is, why? But yeah, it's a process.
What is that? What is this? Because you're saying nah, even though it's designed, to attack. Come, and you're saying nah. I'm not gonna crumble. I'm not gonna fall. I'm not going to, I'm not going to be that person that you're trying to, break down. I'm thinking. Where does the mana come from there? Where does the modi come from there to, make sure that you don't fall?
Well, technically, through all that I've gone through since the loss of my husband, so 2 years he's been gone, anyone they've gone through what I've gone through but in these last 2 years would have broke. I could have easily turned back to the pipe. But nah, because that is what they want. That's what they want. But nah, I refuse. I don't want to. I'm not that person. I'm not that person anymore. I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. But, and just like I say to my children, this too shall pass. Trust the process. But together, we'll get through this. We got through my husband's death. We got through my grandson's death. But we have to do it together. But, even doing it together, like, even right now, actually, a few months back, I was on a non-association with all my children. It's like, well, how do you, what? Like, how am I supposed to contact my grandchildren? How am I supposed to make, they're my children. I'm the only living parent. Recently, I just got locked up for associating on the phone with my son.
Do you reckon that there's a whole lot of cultural divides that, like tikanga, for example, would never separate a family because it makes them stronger, it makes them grow, it makes them healthier. Obviously, Tauiwi's way is to divide and conquer.
Yep.
You mentioned that you thought, you'll never return to peace. So can you tell me about this journey of peace? I don't know that journey.
I was addicted to meth for 19 years. During that period of meth, I was unpresent mum. I was in a violent relationship, toxic. Yeah. But then got out of the relationship, went to prison, did a 2-year leg, got out, and when I got out, I was doing massive. I went back to university up in Auckland, Carrington, Unitec, and had to do a bridging course to start a paper. We were apart because when I was in jail, he had moved on. So I got to deal with it in there. Had I have known now what I knew then, I wouldn't have, because I think I was locked down for 2 weeks, just stayed to myself. And that wasn't, and not, I said to the officers, leave me locked down, and they go, why, are you going to harm yourself? And I go, no, I ain't going to harm myself, but I will harm someone. Because I didn't know how to process my feelings back then. So, to keep everyone safe, I just stayed locked down. Yeah. I would have easily got another leg if they had let me out.
How long have you been meth free now?
7 years. 7 years, hang on, 2 months, I think.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's cool. It's a massive feeling.
What have you managed? Because I've met you also in the community, just helping people. You know, a lot of people I actually speak to on a personal level, you've helped. So was that part of that journey for you?
Yeah.
Can you
So that was me giving back. Because of the destruction I created, not just in my community, all over the motu. And the destruction could easily mean like introducing it to people, knowing that they're going to get addicted, knowing that they're not going to have food on their table, knowing that they're not going to pay their rent this week because they're going to want a bigger bag, knowing all of that, that was the destruction. But at the time, when I was under the influence, I had no morals. I didn't care. I was like, just get the next person addicted. That was my thinking. And why? Because I'm going to sell them a dream and just give them a nightmare. And that was my thinking then. But so for me to give back, because of that destruction, I helped the community. Started in Rotorua, Whakatane, Taniatua, Opotiki, went to help start a ropu in Wairo, Texas, Te Tiko.
What did the ropu do, sis? Like help people get off drugs?
Oh, well, it just gave them a place, as a QBE. So I'm a QBE, I'm qualified by experience. And I know, this fella's just coming down. So QBEs are the best. Like, I wish there were QBEs when I was going through it, because I would have listened more. But what I've found in this journey of recovery is that, I leave something, an imprint on whānau, because even today, they're reaching out. I don't even have a job today, but I have made such an influence on other people's lives that they still reach out. They're like, hey, Fire, how are you?
So I've actually met many people in prison or come out of prison who you've actually helped. So I actually thought you were working in that environment and actually making great changes for these people, because they've actually, not without you knowing, they've shared their journeys with me with you helping them in there. And I actually thought that was a big part of your mahi.
Yeah, it was. But that was it was a coping mechanism for me. They were all coping mechanisms because, at first it was to give back because of the destruction I created and as an addict. But then it became more than that. I liked it. You know how you like to do things and then you do it to the best of your ability. That's what I do today, and even still today. So I've got a meeting this week with a whānau from Tauranga who I only met on social media. So yes, social media is helping me now, but it's not so it's my way because I no longer have a job, but I know that the tools that I have will help someone else out there. Like, I've had I've had whānau reach out and they want to start Zooms now. And that's things that I can do. But I got to do it, I can't do it all. I can't give all my time to everyone without a little koha, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm looking at trying to get subscriptions. So I said to whānau, because there's whānau from as far as Taranaki, Wellington and the South Island, who said, we don't have any help here. I said, and they said, could you do Zooms? And I go, yeah, I could. And then I got my daughter-in-law said, you can't just do it for free. You got to get paid for some of your time. And I said, oh, because I'm willing to do that. So I even sussed out how to do Teams and all of that. Because I have no laptops, you know, basically I've got all of that.
If somebody was needing your help to help people merge from prison, you know, to the community, would they PM you? Would they be able to PM you? Because a lot of people do have, you know, resources as well. Not everybody doesn't have the resources.
Yeah, but see, but that's where it's different. Like, the resources I'm very limited to, but I can pass on what I can in regards to getting your whānau. Because I do know that some of the whānau that I was helping that were incarcerated, there's a few of them that are out now, which it really warms my heart to know that. But, and you know, for a lot of the gangsters, they're hard to reach. That's what counsellors and that think. You know, oh, it's a bit of a gangster, blah, 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 blah. But actually, they're still human, you know?
Yeah.
Despite that patch on their back.
Yeah.
I can have laughs with any gangster, you know? It's dopey. But it's not, it's like, because I understand them. You know, half the time, the gangsters, they just, they refuse to be vulnerable. They don't want to feel, the hurt. They refuse, you know, which is why they put up the armor. But fucking hell, but they need armor around me. Just tell me that you blah, like, you know, but that's how they like to be talked to too.
Yeah, and then they can connect with
They
you.
connect, they're like, well, you know, it's just, and it's going, yeah, I knuck. And this might not even be, you know, I talk the nucks and the gucks, and this ain't out of disrespect, and like, so this one person is going, oh, you triggered me, and I was like, oh, yeah, what? And he goes, oh, saying not even actual gangster, and I was going, oh, well, I go, it's not out of disrespect, brother, but that's just my lingo, just as you have your lingo. But, you know, even that lingo.
I've actually heard you on the phone talking to some brothers in your language. You know, I don't know how to speak it, blah, blah, blah. In the language, and they actually get it, and they actually cheer up, you know what I mean? And I think that's a talent. And I think it's a talent that's obviously not catered for.
Yeah. It's a lot different though, like, you know, it's hard to understand, like, not, yeah,
it's probably a learned thing, eh? Like, it's like any skill, you've got to go and master it, and you mastered that on the streets, which is, to me, the best way to learn.
Yeah.
I loved it. Where to for Hubba, the Marbarian, next?
Well, just got to roll with the punches at the moment, but be present at the same time for my family, my grandchildren, my eldest girl's ready to drop soon. So, yeah, be the need. So, like, last night we had a matariki dinner, and, you know, my mokos, they're jumping all over the koro, and I go, don't jump on koro, and then it's like he's here. It's like he's here because they be all dopey around the koro, and I was going, oh, nah. But it's like, for my family, we still got to partake in that togetherness. So even if it means to have a dinner, or, you know, if it means we're going to have a drink, then we have a drink. Like, so we just celebrated my husband's 2 years gone. We just got really... Wow. But, you know, so for me, I had to learn how to drink again, because for 2 years I was abstinent of everything. No vape, no anything, just these, and I still have them now. Lozenges. Which is one good thing when you go inside, they give you these, but and they're worth gold in there anyway. So 2 years, because I knew myself that if I was to have a drink, and in order to keep up with the party, I needed to have a substance to thing it. So I knew myself that much that I said, no, I can't drink. So 2 years I was off everything. And then after 2 years, I said to my husband, I go, I'm sure I can have a drink. And he goes, yeah, have a drink. And I had it, oh, right, 3 bottles or 4 bottles, that was it, over. I was going, oh, nah. So I had to learn how to drink again. But it was, I've been drinking, I'm not drinking because I need it. I drink, like, so if I'm really busy around the house and there's a, you know, I feel like a drink, I have a drink. But it's not because I need it. It's because I want it. And it's not an issue. It's not an issue.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did hear whispers in the wind that there might be a book coming up.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about that? Or
Yep. So, I started writing it. It was like 10,000 words. So, but that book's gone. But I've found a way. So I've started it again, and I found a way that I can just talk and it just writes it.
oh, cool! Like a transcriber, like
Yeah.
you talk it and then it types
Chat
it.
CVT.
Oh yeah. Cool.
So I just talk to it and it writes, but then you can actually put it into you know, like chapter 1, chapter 2.
And what is the main focus of the book? What's the kaupapa?
Where I've come from, so you know, people always ask, why did you use myth? Was it, you know, a you know, what do you call it? Was it generational trauma, blah, 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 blah. I said, no, because I was brought up well, like, you know, I had a fine upbringing. It was just me, I was a tutu. So I'm going to just start from how I was brought up. I just want everyone to know that this is who I was then. It had nothing to do with my upbringing. It wasn't that raw. It was just that I was a tutu. And as I go through my life, you know, 13 I was hitchhiking because I'm a tutu. It's like, I wonder what it's like to do that.
Wow.
I wonder what it's like to do that. When I was 12, we tried Datura. Hey, I wonder what that is. Oh, that's a da-da-da-da. Oh, how do we do it? Hey, you know, you didn't have Google to say, what is this plant? You just had to tutu.
So you were like adventurous.
Yeah. I wonder what that is. I wonder what we can do. I wonder if we can get drunk or something on this. Like even methylated spirits. Where you could just get methylated spirits at the garage.
Are you still adventurous?
Yeah, somewhat. But can't really be adventurous when you're on bloody curfew. So.
Yeah. Curfew. I know what that's all about. I wanted to just reflect on one thing that I didn't know if I covered enough, because one thing that I've, like for example, my son used to work out with your man, and I didn't know that was your man back then, you know, blah blah. And my son talks about him like just being real cool, supportive and loving.
Yeah.
You know, but what I see in you know, like media is that, oh my God, watch out for him, you know. You couldn't even be around his space, and then my mum's going, no mum, we used to work out, and you used to teach me this and motivate me, you know, all these things. And then when I look at the video of his tangi, and I see the whanaunga tanga that was at here, that you've shown me the video, I don't see that. So I see you know, like a marae that ran really, really well with whānau and tikanga behind it. Can you share us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so husband was in the process of, you know, how can he, because he was learning his whakapapa, he was learning his te ao Māori, the kaupapa Māori. You know, right down to learning his pipiha. He was the coolest dude. Like, you could, like, right now, if he was here, he'd sit there and he'd make jokes with you, bro, straight up. He'll be like, and you'll be like, you'll be his bro straight away. You go, brother, like, you know, that's what he'll do. But he just, so he was always just so down to earth, like, yeah, and then in comes the dopiness. But he, you know, just like everyone who goes through his journey, connection is a key to everything, you know. Like, he was getting into whai kōreros. He was learning how to do that with one of the members, and you know, he was like, so you know, in any other little organisation, you have a treasurer, you have a book taker, a da-da-da, you know, all of, he did it all, as well as be a husband, a koro. He'd go to work, he was mowing lawns. His lawn mowing business got robbed, the truck and his mower, and he was going crazy. And I had to go to work, and he just got his voices going, go and see all the car thieves in this town. And because he was upset, because this is my living, this is my fucking living, like, you know. He was upset that work vehicle, that he makes money, got stolen. Anyway, he's driving around, putting up posts, and he found his mower trailer. Then he carried on and he found the truck. And then he's telling the police, like he's a police officer, saying, yep, get the fingerprints over here.
He got it back.
He got it back.
I can't believe someone would steal off someone like him.
Well, I don't think that they knew.
Oh!
I don't think that they knew that he worked.
One of the things I love about you, like you showed me this video like of your wedding and of you two singing.
Yeah.
And to me, you know, that just looked like a beautiful love story. Do you know what I mean? And it really makes me angry that he's projected into the, you know, not this world, not this side of the fence, not the hood side, but out there to the sheep. As all men like this, all they are is darkness. And I just don't believe that narrative. I watch him singing to you. Yeah. I watch him on those videos being a dad. I watch him welcome in people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, nah, he was, and see, like, even things like that, like singing, like, you know, back in the day, I'd say, and because he knew what I was like, we were at a pad, and I said, Dad! And, you know, this is old school, and he'll go, Sig, and I go, come here, I want to sing the song with you. And he'd look at me, but he knew that if he said no, that I'd be an idiot. Because I like to do that. Like, you know, if that's your man, let's do things together. You know, don't matter where we are. I want to do it wherever. In a pad, uptown, wherever. You know.
Adventurous.
Yeah, well, just because, like, you know, I want people to know that, yeah, you're my man, I'm your missus, and this is what we do. And yeah, we'd sing. And sometimes I'd say that, you know, yeah. Okay, wrong words, bro, but I've got videos of him, and this is the song that he was practicing prior to his death, was Mirrors. Keep me in your mirror. And he'd say to me, right, learn this bit. And I was going, what? And he goes, learn this song. And he goes, and don't yell it. And I was like, what? Because I yell to get the note. Well, yeah, I have to. And he goes, don't yell it, just sing not a little. And I was like, what the fuck? But I've got videos of all of that. And he, like, just tries to, like, he's video recording of his own self. And I'm, like, cracking right up even today. Because I'm watching it. And he's just tries his hardest to, like, you know, it's cool because he's, you know, I get to still see these memories. But then he goes, he'll practice it and then he'll go, right, your turn. And he goes, yep, because he's telling me, yep, that's good, note, that's it, da da da. And then, yeah, and he goes, no, shh, like, tone down. But yeah, he got into that. No, he was cool.
If you could give a message out there to people from the street, you know, to people, because you're very inspiring, what would your message be to them?
True contentment comes not from greater wealth, but fewer wants.
I love that. If Tiwana was here, what do you think a message that Tiwana would want to throw out into the wind?
Love your family. Because when all odds are against you, your family will be there. And look after them. Look after each other. So you look at that kupu whānau, AU is in the middle of whānau, called O. Without O, there's no whānau. So yeah.
I love that. Whānau, O. Without the O, there's no whānau. So keep yourself together.
Yep.
And be there for your whānau. Thank you for joining me, sis. We've shared a lot today. I'm sure it's going to help inspire others. Hopefully we can have a link just in case people want to get in touch with you and you know, get some help with this kaupapa somehow along here. But I love you very much. I want to have a hug.
Yeah, in the middle. I'm in the middle. Love you.
Oh, can you show him up to the camera? Oh, is he heavy?
He's heavy.
Heavy.
He'll be saying, you know, it was heavy.
Can I lift him up?
With that thing in the middle.
Can I lift him up? Oh my God, it's heavy as! You carry it around like it's not heavy. It's actually heavy. Look at this though. And can we show them around the room?
Yeah.
And can we show them where his marae was outside? Yeah, okay. Can you show us where the marae was when your husband was brought here?
So, where these cars are, this had a big marquee. We had a big marquee here. And we had pallets, and husband sat on the pallets. So we'd have karangas come up the drive. Karanga, wahine would do karanga up the drive. That they come here and there was a water there outside the marquee. Husband will lay there. And then after 1 o'clock, I'd say no more karangas. The dogs, so I made it, the dogs just would come around, drink, whatever just no drugs.
Just family.
Just family, just all singing to husband.
So was his coffin around here?
Yeah, right there.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So marquee from there to there, and we had, so from here to the truck away of pallets and his coffin and then our mattresses.
How many people came through that whole Tangi?
Oh fuck, heaps. Even, and because the only reason why I wanted to have it at home is because I wanted to cater for the dogs and the community. And so that fence there, that's where the kitchen was. Over that side, that's where we had the kitchen, was next door. Who's also a member of husband,
went through the house, went through there.
Yeah, so they had big marquees up there, they had made a kitchen.
So you had your own marae operating.
I had my own marae.
I want to, can you take us to the school and tell us, because apparently this whole thing was full with cars.
Yeah, so yeah, this is the wahine would sit over there cutting up the board. Yeah. And then after 12, people would just walk off.
Oh yeah.
And then there was Mongol mob, regalia everywhere.
Hey! You have to get him on hold. He's too cute. He's grumpy.
And so all along here there was just cars. Cars
down that road?
Yep, down that road. All along here, bikes, all the bikes were along here.
Like for the whole Tangi?
Yeah, the whole Tangi. Yeah, fucking old mobsters standing here at the gate with beers.
Why were they saying that the town shut down because of this Tangi and that, you know, the poor community?
Well, obviously because it's just straight across the road from the college.
Well, when other people lose their rangatira, they get escorted, you know, people make way. You guys didn't get any way made. You guys just got made out to be havoc and you were just trying to sell it, you know, more.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, there's all the burnouts and doing all of that, but hey, that's it. You need Tangi, really.
Well, some people fire bullets into the air.
Yeah.
Some people march in the middle of the road in big groups. Some people do burnouts.
Oh yeah, this was smoke right out. This whole all along here. See, look how vain he was. He was cooked. He was cooked here.
Oh, he's little, eh?
Little hot though. Hot. But I wasn't with him then.
Hey.
But I'd just hop on him any time. Just because I wanted to show his missus.
Can you tell us who these ones?
Yeah, that's husband. That's one of his members. He was a prospect who committed suicide. This is Triple J. He's a chain dog. He committed suicide. Hail Dog. He's the Tangi I went to. He committed suicide. Sun Dog. King Sun Dog. He passed away. He was sick.
Aww.
Scum Dog. Wairo. Aotearoa Wairo.
And the moko. Show us your moko and your mum.
My moko. This is our moko who's up there by his koro, and this is my mum. This one here, this is Elijah. He committed suicide. I went to rehab with him.
Can you
And
show
he did the haka for me too at rehab. was cool. So here's this photos of him,
It's so cool.
and this is what he got for
She's just taking them through the footage of the
for
ring.
our wedding.
Okay.
And then in here, this is our room. And so he's just everywhere. He's up, yeah, our wedding photos. And look at that, habits of a stressful woman. But yeah, and because this is what yeah. He's just everywhere. He's even on the roof because when he passed, he's even on a blanket.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. And that's what kept me, you know, just to have photos of him everywhere. So I'll just talk to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Everywhere.